Hello, everyone. Welcome to the monk chat today at the Empty Cloud Buddhist Monastery. And so glad to see many of you have been waiting and wish you all a very happy and peaceful evening. And we have here Gita always there. Every time I see Gita here and Jerry Segers and Shadow of Label, Amaranta Arcadia, Castillo Gomez, Dinko Simunovic, Deborah Olick, and Google Sagidro. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it properly. Cindy Ray and Boring June and yes, and Poonam Sood, Jan, and Pravat Barua, and all the wonderful friends who joined, John also. So thank you for joining us today with the monk chat. So let us chat together. We also have with us Jens, who has been so wonderfully taking care of me, and I really appreciate his amazing support as the resident monk here, and he has been very kind. Okay, so let's get started with the questions. Gita is asking. Okay, thank you for Gita is always very thankful. And yeah, okay, let's get started with the question. Bhante, we have two questions to ask. Number one, how can one test oneself if anger arises? If one is mindful and aware of impermanence, no self, even when poked, instigated by others. If one doesn't. Uh, so, how can you test yourself? Uh, is a good point actually, and also I appreciate that you want to test yourself. um, you can test yourself in so many different ways. When you are angry or when you are upset, there can be many situations in your life. I'm telling you, sometime early morning, just wake up and you get up with frustration, anger, stress. Anything can lead us to anger, and any situation can generate anger, upset, sadness in us. While driving, maybe while cooking, maybe while studying, even while meditating, maybe. It can happen. Like, let's say, like, how does it happen when you meditate? Have you ever tried? Have you ever tasted the anger? Let's say, like, you are practicing for very sincerely, ardently, and then you try to meditate, you sacrifice your time and energy, and the concentration doesn't come, and the jhana doesn't come. And then you might be getting upset. I have been practicing too long and it's not coming, and you don't see the counterpart sign. Patibhaga nimitta is not appearing. So it can happen to some people too. Even while meditating, it can happen. So you test yourself, and I think one way of doing it is when the anger arises, you are aware that changes happen. I always say this thing, mindfulness will be the key. Without mindfulness, our our institution will be uh, unsafe, insecure. When you have mindfulness, it will be like a gatekeeper. So when you have a gatekeeper with us, with you, when the anger comes, the gatekeeper will notice. And the gatekeeper will maybe like I was explaining it to Jens today. So when the gatekeeper is they are newly recruited, let's say, okay, when the newly recruited gatekeeper is there, security guard, he will be a little bit cautious in approaching people because he might be worried, like maybe some influential person, or he might lose his job even. So if he is little bit more stronger or, in his approach, so at the beginning he will be very cautious and very polite, maybe little bit more friendly even. So the other people will also know this is a new one, and so they just come in. And after maybe weeks and months and years, if you work there, he already is empowered. He knows everyone who is coming in and out. He knows that. I think this is just empowering yourself. Um, so the gatekeeper is more knowledgeable about everyone who comes in and out, and then he will also be able to um, you know, restrict people. Okay, you don't belong here. Why did you come? You can ask. You can get the. Okay, show me your ID. I don't see you often here, so you don't belong here. So just like that, you can actually rectify those emotions that are coming in, or the anger. You don't belong here, you are not supposed to come here. You can say not at the beginning. If anger comes to you at the beginning, do not try to resist, just let him come in. And the anger also knows, oh, there is a gatekeeper, sati, mindfulness. So I cannot settle here. So the anger will come naturally, but then it will go away. When you keep working on your mindfulness as a regular recruiter, fully functioning security guard, gatekeeper, he will take care of the rest of your emotions later on. So mindfulness will come to know immediately, or the anger appears and he doesn't belong here. So he will be bounced back. It is like the mindfulness will hold a mirror, and then um, the anger will come and bounce back. This is what I would like to say. You can test like that. So when sometimes when anger happens, um, what happens to people, like you can notice physically, your some people's, like maybe they say their earlobes or over here, and maybe here they get like tight feelings, and very hot and very warm sensation you feel, and then also like pinching, you feel like those things. And then some people have palpitation, really working faster, and your pulse rate, the blood flow, you can feel that temptation or the sensation around the heart area. Your whole body, some people like whole body shaking depending on the intensity. Yeah, so I think yeah, it is not that difficult to recognize anger. I think anger is one thing that is more easier to recognize. Anger is a very special emotion. You can easily recognize when you are angry. It is so hard to camouflage. Your eyes will be red, some people, and your face will be so different and moody, and even if you don't talk, maybe you the way of you walk here and there, you will notice, other people will notice this person is restless today, is fully angry. you know Recently, I don't want to say the name, but somebody said to me how um, that person's in-laws, when they are angry, at the beginning they were really exchanging words, but somehow later on, the other relative said, don't react to these things, just keep quiet. And then still with anger, like the angry man fights with the tools sometimes. So like this person heard all the time that the in-laws, they behave in a very restless manner with the tools, like smashing things, like dropping things so hard and with loud noise, trying to show that he or she is not comfortable. So anger is something like that. Anger is something that is easily diagnosed. um, you can easily diagnose that. But make sure anger is a very natural thing, I must say, very human emotion. It can happen to people. But you have to be mindful about not letting the anger go to the next level, that is hatred, revenge. No way. Anger is okay, you get angry, but you don't say anything or you don't act. That is fine. At least you suppress your anger for some time, and then anger will be over. And but if you let it grow as a poison tree, that will be very, very disastrous, dangerous. So please make sure, even if other people try to instigate you, poke you, try to encourage you to be more angry, don't get angry. I mean, don't go to that revengeful status. Really important. So I would like to invite not only Geeta but all the other people here. If you watch this program, um, yeah, anger can happen to you. It is okay, but don't let it overrun you. Don't let it overwhelm you, and so that anger can control you. No, you should be able to control yourself. And when you are angry, maybe the first 90 seconds, I would like to say, just keep quiet. Do not say things when you are in angry mood, because when you are in angry mode, whatever you say, I know here in the West you like to say something just right away, but I would say Buddhist way, mm, just don't say anything that time, because you are restless. Your mind is not in a peaceful manner. So when you don't have concentration when you are restless. So do not take decisions when you are angry or restless, because panya will come only to a concentrated mind. When samadhi is there, the panya will come. Wisdom will happen when the concentration is there. When you don't have concentration, when you are restless, when you are panic, do not take decision. So don't say anything. Yes, now some people would say, oh, okay, what happened? So we will keep quiet, and then later on what happened? I would like to say, you can talk to that person later on when you are calm. So it's fine. You can talk to that person face to face, maybe go for a cup of tea, and yeah, you can talk to them when you are in a position to talk. And then you can say, hey, whatever happened yesterday, maybe I made a mistake, you made a mistake. So maybe there is more opportunity for you to come to a better conclusion than in an angry, frustrated, and very heated exchange of words. Um, that's not really um, the right way, I suppose. Okay, I hope I answered the question, Gita. In Majjhima Nikaya 61, the Buddha says to check your completed mental acts. And if you see that you have harmed, to regard the act with horror, repulsion, and disgust. My disgust becomes corrosive. How to protect it? I think maybe um, if you relate that same experience, Jerry, to the previous answer, I hope it will also be almost the same. So check your completed mental act and see if you have harm to regard the act with horror, repulsion, and disgust. Yeah, you can check that out. You first have to recognize your status. You first have to make your mindfulness stronger so that you recognize, you identify. I think it is so good if you recognize whether it is horror, repulsion, or disgust. That first thing is to recognize, to observe, and later, second thing, you can work something on it. And yeah, your disgust can be corrosive if you don't pay attention to that. But if you pay attention to that, you recognize it, more chances are that you can work on its own. And for example, we don't live forever, right? And if we can live forever, everlasting life, then we can still get angry. It's okay. But we don't live forever. And why should we have enemies? Why should we have unfriendly beings in our life? Why not we have everyone so happy with us, peaceful friends with us? So I think when you get that kind of a thought, you can also radiate loving kindness to the other person. That will be one of the most powerful tools that you can use to guard against such corrosive, disgusting feelings. I'm sure you will be much happier then. And those things will not make you happy. It will make you dark, and it will make you like weak. You're not happy. So when you are able to take the right decision with a peaceful manner, you should be able to be happy. So use the mindfulness, use the loving kindness as against powerful shields against this. Jens, you have a follow-up question with that?
Yes, Bhante, I think you did really address it. I was just going to say a lot of times, sometimes some of the words, the play words come out as disgust. And so a lot of times myself or Westerners might have aversion. We think it means like that idea of aversion. And I guess, and you spoke about this, how to use loving kindness so it doesn't turn into aversion, but a way to reflect upon our behaviors or reflect on what's happening and to move in a wholesome way.
Yeah. Just comment on that, right? Yeah. So, yeah, you need to recognize and when you recognize, if you notice that anger, hatred, uh, or what do you call greed or delusion happens, they are called unwholesome roots. So they are not really helping us. They are pulling us back to the sansara, and they are tightening the screws of our shackles. So we have to get rid of them by practicing caring kindness. I think one of the most important tools that you should have in your toolbox is the mindfulness. That should be always ready with you. Thank you. All right, and okay, Gita's question number 2, I think. Due to our habit, energies, and defilements, we are always being led by our mind. When reacting to real life situations, can one bring forth noble wisdom and mindfulness to resolve issues that are. Okay, it goes to another part. Mm, okay, I think I got your question at least. Due to our habit, energies, and defilements, we are always being led by our mind. Yes, when you are healthy, when you are happy, it is much easier, right? But when you are in, as you mentioned, when you are in real life challenging situations, can someone be really be healthy? Can one really be calm and peaceful and taking decisions? Mm, no, not without preparation, not without practice, I must say. So I can say yes and no. Yes, if you are a practitioner, if you continuously practice, you will be able to calm down no matter what. I'm telling you, like as Buddhist monks, for example, if we keep practicing meditation, and when things difficult situations, challenging situations come to us, then we recognize it. We don't get panic. We just calm down, and it's easier for us. But if someone like lay people, due to so many activities and so many things, duties, and also not having time enough to meditate and too many things to do in life, then it might be difficult. It might be really difficult for them to work on them. So it'll be a challenging situation for such people for sure. Yeah. So keep practicing, I think, is the key. Um, if you think you need peace and happiness that are so important in your life, then find out some time from your busy day-to-day lifestyle and practice. Sit for some time and practice. You need that self-care. You need that space for yourself. Every one of us need that space for ourselves. As monks, we have more space for ourselves, but due to your engagement, your attachments with so many other people, it is a little bit difficult for you. But you still need to find some time, at least on a regular basis. Practice half an hour, 1 hour every day. That will really be helpful to you. I'm telling you, it really works. Um, it can be very helpful to all of you. Not only when you are angry, but also when you're sad or panic in family life, and also in your office, your businesses. Whenever you do those things, yeah, many things can happen to you. So you can feel, you can see, you can sense when you meditate. Let's say now you are planning to do a project or something like that in life. So you keep thinking and then you meditate, you keep meditating. And then in your meditating, sooner, one day or the other, you will get the right decision. You will get the right decision, and you will always feel confident of your decision. I took the right decision because I'm calm, I'm peaceful. So it's really important. Even in difficult situations can happen to you, it is okay. That also is a testing ground for you. If everything is so smooth, so peaceful, so happy, then there is no difference. Who will test you, right? So the Mara also would come to you and sometimes test yourself. So don't expect everything to be. So life will always be full of ups and downs. Vicissitudes, we call it. Labha, alabha, ayasa, yasa, ninda, prasansa, sukha, dukkha. Sometimes loss, sometimes profit, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. Yeah, sometimes no matter how much good you do, people will always blame you. They will scold you. They will find something to blame you. And no matter, yeah, these things can happen. Sometimes people appreciate you, sometimes people blame you. So brickbats and flowers, bouquets, you need to accept alike. You should be stronger within. Practice that equanimity too, and practice that wisdom, maturity. So you should be able to survive any strong current. You should be able to do that when you are stronger within. All the best. Okay. Okay, and I think I have some more question from John. Dear Venerable, I hope you're doing well. I find it hard to meditate with overwhelming fear. Any suggestions? Certain obvious techniques haven't worked. Okay, I think, John, what is the problem with that is the fear. I would like to say, when we have fear, that means we have not attained arahanthood. Everyone without attaining such a uh, powerful spiritual state, they will have fear. One time there was a meditation master, okay, and he was teaching many students, and his disciples actually have attained arahanthood, have attained other samadhi, deep jhanas, and all. And this master, he thought he has become an arahant. One day, one of the disciples was actually, he was able to read the thoughts of the master. He saw that this master is not has not attained any spiritual stage. He just he is a very good teacher, yes, but he has not attained any spiritual sainthood, because he was so overwhelmingly busy with many things, teaching or whatever. And then he thought he should go help his master, such a wonderful student. And he came, a disciple paid respect to him, and had a discussion with him. And then he asked, Master, are you a powerful master now? Yes, I am a powerful master. I could do many things. He said, like, he was very confident of his powerful. Yeah, he was able to generate some magic, like psychic powers he had, for sure. But psychic powers does not mean you are in a Sotapanna, Sakadagami, or any other stages. Without that, also you can have psychic powers. So the disciple asked, "Oh, really? You can create anything?" Yes, I can create. I can create anything. What do you think? Mm, yeah. So, would you like to create a ferocious elephant ramming to us? The elephant so angry, like Nalagiri, coming to you like ferociously. And oh, it is very easy. It's not a big deal. He said. And then he created it. And then the elephant, when he was coming with a roar, and then that anger, the master was really scared. He was so scared, and he started to run away. And then the disciple, always already an arahant, he caught him by his robe, and he said, Master, I thought you are an arahant. Arahant cannot get scared, right? Arahant cannot have fear, right? And then he felt so ashamed. He felt really um, bad about himself. And then he thought, oh my Buddha, I I have not realized that until now. I have been thinking of myself like I am a powerful arhat because of my uh, psychic powers. I thought I have those things, but I'm not an arhat. Now I recognize. He started actually to, um, he asked his disciple, can you please help me come out of this? And can you please help me to fix this problem in me so that I can attain arahanthood? And the disciple was also very humble. He was also very happy to help his master, and he helped him, and eventually the master became an arahant. So I just wanted to say that the fear is something like that. Sometimes, like when you hear a cracker noise, or sometimes thunder, storm, or even when somebody sneezes so loud, and if you get shaken, that means your mind is weak. Your mind is weak. So you have to be stronger. It doesn't matter actually. But yeah, it can happen to any natural, normal human being. But if you think of it, if you work on this, I must say it should be okay. One thing that happens to us because we have ego, we have Sakkaya Ditti. This is me, this body is me, myself. And if something happens to this body, I am scared. I'm scared to die. I'm scared to get sickness. These days, a lot of people have fear because of pandemic. What do you call pandemic? So people are scared. And if someone sneezes, you want to run away, or you immediately look at the other person and think that, oh, he must be having COVID. And so you are so scared. And then when you see someone coming to you without a mask, also you feel like scared. Lot of fear thing comes to us because we have so much love, so much attachment to this body. You think this is me, myself. And if you, John, I would like to, like you to practice on impermanence. Um, this body is not permanent. Nothing is permanent. All conditioned things are impermanent. So when you think of it, like if you think like kesa, loma, naka, danta, tacho, our body hair, our head hair, our nails, our skin, all these things, our teeth. Even if you focus on these five things, you will see they are not mine. They are not, when they are inside, yes, you really love them, you really care for them. But later, when they are gone, like they separate from your body, you don't want to hold it so dearly. Like the hair falls from you and the teeth falls from you. Do you want to keep them? No, right? You want to get rid of them right away. And you see, like for example, in the bathtub, after some days, if you have like a head hair everywhere, so you, do you like it? You want to keep it? No, right? You want to just flush it as soon as possible. Yeah, everything is like that. As long as we are holding it so dearly, we have that. So fear is something that happens to you because you are holding to yourself so dearly. Death is something that we all are scared of. And then again, death is, a lot of people don't even like to talk about death, talk anything but death. They say that. But I think in Buddhism, we talk about death more often so that you are actually, comfortable in. It's okay. Death is death. Death is another experience only, and we die how many times in this samsara? We are born and dying all the time. And as human beings, we tried so dearly to live longer. So we take vitamins, we take so many other medicines, and some people live like a vegetable. At the end, still want to live, don't want to leave this body. This is because of that problem. I don't know if I have a story to share with you again. um, there is a funny story, but I think it can be helpful. One time it is said, the Mahabrahma, the creator of the world, this is not a true story, okay? So he gave lifespan of 20 years to every sentient being. All the people, all the other animals were given 20 years. Humans were given 20 years. And then the human man was not happy. Oh, only 20 years. And then he was looking, and okay, dog was given 20 years, and cat, then what do you call, cow, the ox was given 20 years, and the owl was given 20 years. And yeah, and then um, what happened, like the dog came. He came to the guard. He said, you know what, I don't want to live like 20 years barking. And also I don't want to watch other people. What I do is all the time watch other people. I don't want to do that, 10 years is enough for me. So he got rid of 10. Okay, I'll give you 10 years. And then he went away, the dog went away. And then the ox came. I what I do, I all the time carry the other people's weight, truckloads, cartloads of things I had to carry. It's very difficult for me. I don't want to like live 20 years with that. 10 years is enough. So okay, I'll give you 10 years. And then he also took 10 years. And then eventually came another one called owl. Owl. Owl came, and I don't want to live 20 years all the time. Hmm, that making sound. And I am so tired of that. Making it for 20 years, he said. Okay, I'll give you 10 years. So the man was looking at this, and then he came to the guard. He said, "You know what? I have only 20 years. Would you mind giving me those extra 10 years that the other animals said they don't want? If you don't mind, I will be happy to have those 10 years also with me." And then, okay, I'll give you them. And then yeah, man was living 10 20 years happily. And then that is the real man's life. And after that, you study, you are a teenager, you are very happy, all those things. And later, up to 30s, you really work hard. And then the real life starts, like maybe from 30 something, 30 to 40 maybe. You have to carry the things of others, like family life. So you have to carry many uh, truckloads.
Mm.
That is the ox age. you know and then you also have some, I think it is 20 more years. It is not 10, 10, it is 20. So from 20 to 40, it is like that. And then 40 to 60, you take care of uh, the what do you call, grandsons, grandchildren, taking care of every time your children, when they want to go out, they say, okay, mommy, daddy, you take care of them, I have to go. So you always take care of them. It is like the dog years. You're watching all the time. And then later on, when you are so old, um, it is like they ask you, did you eat? Hmm. Did you shower? Hmm. So all the time you say that is because you have borrowed from the owl sage. So something like that. So we are so desperate to live longer and live more and more time, thinking that that way we can live forever. But it is not like that. We can't live forever, and also we can be happy forever. And fear will come to you because you are so much attached to this. I would like to suggest you this human 100 years, even if 100 years we live, it is just 2 days in the Chatu Maharajika world. Just 2 days. 2 days there is 100 years in human realm. So it is nothing. For them, like they live 500 celestial years, like 90,000, 90 million something years they live. It's a long life for them, and we are so desperate to live longer and longer, so we take this and that, we go to many things. But if you live like simple, and also you live happy lifestyle, I think your life can be much more happier, and no need to fear, no need to panic. It's okay if death comes, you accept it. It's just another death. You die every day. Like imagine, like you go to bed every time you wake up in the morning. You don't know what happened to you, like for hours. It's like a temporary death, isn't it? And so thinking that you think, it is not permanent. And every time you breathe in, it is like birth. You breathe out, it is like death. Every time you wink, you close your eyes, it is like death. You open your eyes, it is like birth. Every time you see the sunrise, it is like birth. Sunset, like death. So that way you can see the impermanence. Internally, ajhatang va bahitava, both internally and externally, you should be able to see that impermanence. That way you don't feel fear anymore. More confident actually. Okay, it's okay. Whatever happens, you feel, you face it confidently. Okay. Hope I could answer you, although it was little too long. Okay. Right. Deborah, Jerry, if you regret, okay, if your regret hurts too much, can you try to forgive yourself and try to do better next time? Um, so, Deborah, you are like asking someone, you are suggesting someone, or yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you regret too much, uh, if your regret hurts too much, can you try to forgive yourself and try to do better next time? Um, I think, yeah, regretting will not help. Um, Regretting will only hurt you. Um, Whatever happens in the past, it is past. But if you decide right now, from now onward, I'm going to be good, I'm going to fix my problem. And from this time onward, you have an opportunity to rectify your mistake. I strongly suggest, think of Angulimala, the man who has killed so many people. And if he kept regretting, he wouldn't be able to become Arhat. That the Buddha helped him to come out of that panicking and that regretful situations. And the Buddha said, it is in the past. Whatever is past, you can pull it back. You did something. To err is human, right? That's very natural. We do those things. Things can happen to any of us. We might do things. We might do mistakes. It's okay. And you decide. You try your best to rectify your mistake. Recognize them. That is why, as Buddhists, we observe 5 precepts every day. For example, Whenever you observe five precepts, please think of that. Every day, every single morning, you take five precepts. Think of the meaning. Panatipata veramani sikha padang samadhyami. I undertake to observe the precept to abstain from killing living beings. I, I take this precept um, with a realization, with a determination, until evening, maybe until the next 24 hours. I'm not going to kill even a mosquito. So you can think, I'm not going to hurt anyone. And then adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhyami. I undertake to observe the precept to abstain from taking things not given. I'm not going to steal anything from anyone this next 24 hours. That will be so wonderful. You know, the Buddhist monks, they also do not touch things when they are not given anything. Like here at the temple these days, if Jens is not there, I cannot even have my food. In Dana, he all the time touches the table and he says, "I offer this dana to the Sangha," and then I say, "Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu." That's how we do. We try to skip that adinna dana, um, taking things not given um, part. So we are very concerned about that. I think that is really amazing. But lay people, as lay people, you can also think, I'm not going to steal intentionally from anything, even from your office. Maybe some people do that, and even from anywhere, you don't do it. Make it a habit, and then you don't touch it. You know it. It's so important. And yeah, stealing is a big thing. Like a lot of people, other people work so hard to earn those things, and some people just come and snatch away those things, and that has become a habit. Once you do one time, then it is easier to break that precept. So if you make it, then try not to do that next time. Okay, I'm very, very strong. I'm determined never to touch anything that does not belong to me. Same thing with the third precept. Kamesu michachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhyami. I undertake to observe the precept to abstain from sexual misconduct. So, as family life, what you need to do is you have to respect others' family. When you respect others' family, your family will be respected by others too. When you respect others' life, your life will be respected by others. When you respect others' property, your property will be respected by others. Same thing. When you respect others' family, your family will be respected. So, Kamesu Michachara, as lay people, you can have family, yes, but you cannot have sexual misconduct. That is not advisable. That is not permissible in Buddhism. So, make it a habit and determine yourself, and then you will not do anything like that. Then you will feel also very confident and good. So every time take short time, like maybe one day. If you take the precept every day, okay, next 24 hours I'm not going to break this sila. And then musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhyami. I undertake to observe the precept to abstain from false speech. I'm not going to tell lies no matter what. And sometimes maybe if you really really are tempted to say something, just keep quiet. Noble silence, it is said in Buddhism. So if you don't want to say anything, like fearing that you might break the precept, just keeping quiet would be the best way. So that can save your sila. Actually, there are four things that you can do through your verbal faculty. Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, and Sampapalapa. Not only forced speech, but also slandering. You see some other good people, and then you want to say something against that person. Two people will be separated when you do that. It's not good. You have to think of it. Their friendship should be appreciated, not trying to separate them. They are wonderful friendship. It's not good. And then also Parusavacha Veramani, do not hurt other people, because the words can be like so sharp, and you can hurt other people. It's like maybe like more harmful than shooting. It's really painful when you hurt other people. Say so. Best way is to actually keep quiet. That is why I say when you are angry, don't say anything. And when you are angry, try to practice metta, the opposite of it. That will be very helpful. And then the fifth sila is what do you call suramere majjapama dattana veramani sekkapadang samadhiyami. That means I undertake to observe the precept to abstain from um, drinks and drugs that cause intoxication or heedlessness. So, drinks and drugs can be really very, very addictive. When you have that addiction, you are out of control, out of your mind. You don't know what will happen to you. You can control yourself. Then you might break all the other precepts. Although it is placed last, it is so powerful, it can break all the other precepts when you are like in drunkard mode, right? Or if you take, some people take drinks or they say they take drugs when they want to do something wrong because they are not confident in themselves. So they want that extra energy to break the precept. So it is really dangerous, especially even the school children, young children, wonderful, beautiful young children. Their life is so precious, so wonderful life that why should we waste that beautiful youth because of these drinks and drugs? Because they are addictive, very, very addictive. You can be very easily um, uh, gone away. Your all wonderful habits will disappear immediately. And then also remember, when you have those bad habits, all seen and unseen bad people, bad spirits will come to you. When you are pure, when you are clean, bodily and mentally, all the good people, all the good seen and unseen forces will be with you. So remember that when you take smells like bad smells or drinks and drugs are really very strong bad smells, and they can attract many other unwanted spirits to you. I'm telling you, these are the most important thing. Sometimes they might use your body to satisfy their senses. So be careful not to be a part of that. Yes, I hope this one will be very helpful to you. Okay. Jonas, do you think we have to grow good qualities in the heart in order to be successful in meditation? If so, how to do this? Yeah, I would like to say having good habits all the time can help you. Um, there are four things that I would like to you to pay attention to. They are called Uttana. What do you call? Um, like four kinds of efforts. Okay, one is there are some good qualities in you already. and you need to recognize those wonderful qualities. And then there are some bad qualities also in you. You need to recognize them as well. So when you recognize your bad qualities, what you should do, get rid of them. You should not allow them to establish in you. You recognize, oh, I have a problem. Anger is my problem, or drinking alcohol is my problem, or whatever, any bad habit can be a problem. You recognize, you identify them, and then you do not allow that to overrun you, overwhelm you, take control of you. Rather, you get rid of such bad habits. That will be very helpful to you. And not only you have it in you, and then you also maybe you don't have some bad habits, but maybe your friends have those bad habits. Your associates have those bad habits. You see them. Okay, these people have, I'm just having only alcohol, but these people also take drugs, and so dangerous, even more addictive. So I should be very careful of such things. So the things that you have to get rid of. One, the unwholesome things, and then the unwholesome things that you don't have, do not let them come into you. Use mindfulness as the gatekeeper to protect yourself. This is These are the first two principles. And then the second two is, you have so wonderful, beautiful, positive qualities in you. Take a piece of paper, write down 1 to 10 your positive qualities in you. You are kind hearted, you are generous, you are compassionate, you're patient, and you see you will have some wonderful you wake up early, or you study sincerely, you are very good to others, you want to help others. All those wonderful good qualities, every one of us, you can jot them down, make a list of those wonderful good qualities in you, and then also make a list of the bad qualities in you. And then so the good qualities, and you see you already have some good qualities in you, and then you have to make more and more effort to cultivate more, develop more those wonderful good qualities. And then you can also see some of your associates, maybe your supervisor, your boss, or maybe some monks, if you know, or some people around, they might be not so rich, maybe they might be not so educated, but they have such wonderful, beautiful qualities. You will appreciate that. Those qualities you need to inculcate in you. When you see something positive in someone, try to be, try to take those things, try to absorb those things, and also cultivate those wonderful qualities in you. These are the four things, I think, good qualities that we need to cultivate, and these are the four efforts that we need to um, put into action, that will, um, when you make a habit, those good qualities will grow in you all the time. So I would like to say, karma is like a habit. When you have more good karma, that means you have more good habits. Yeah, so like digital minimalism is a good habit, right? A lot of people are so much engrossed with digital things, and so many activities, too much busy, and then you you find it difficult to focus on anything. So Sallahukabutti is another beautiful word we find in Karaniya Metta Sutta, means simple lifestyle. That makes so much the better. So once in a while, you need to practice 8 precepts. That way you will feel that minimalism is a really good practice. You need to keep it doing. At least if you can do it forever, try to do it like once in a while, once a month. That will be so wonderful. Okay, right. Uh, there's another question. Dear Bhante, Sumitta, we don't have anger at all, but my question was, should we use wisdom and not react to other people who are using harsh? Yes, I'm sure you're not angry, but I was just addressing the other people in general. And also, when you ask a question, remember those questions can be helpful to many other people, right? Yeah, that is why it's important to ask questions. Yeah, thank you for that question. Yes, wisdom, you need to use your wisdom, not to allow those anger things to overrun you. And using harsh words can be really disastrous. It can bring so much pain to other people. And not only to other people, you yourself will suffer when you use harsh speech. So be respectful to other people. Um, Try to monitor your word, especially when you are angry. You don't say anything. I think it's better just to keep quiet for a while. Later on, of course, I think you can discuss. That is my advice. Okay. Hello, Jayanta, Dean, and Guyen, Celestino. We also have. I am interested in the practice of Anapanasati. I don't know the script. I'm sure it should be Cambodian, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like Thai, but I think it is Cambodian. Yes, practice Anapanasati is so wonderful, so helpful. Every one of us breathe, right? So breathing is our energy. And the moment we stop breathing, we die. So from the day we are born until the day we die, we breathe. Every single day. Even when we are sleeping, we breathe. So breathing doesn't have any religion. It is more human. And when you practice breathing, if you recognize your breathing, if you master your breathing, you can do so many wonders. I must say, it is the most powerful tool, another one that you can have with you. Wherever you are, the breathing will be with you. And just as the sati, so is the anapanasati, breathing, mindfulness on breathing. And you can recognize when you are angry, your breathing pattern changes right away. When you are not angry, your breathing will be in a different level. And when you are sad, when you are restless, when you are shocked, happy, jealous, all the time, you will see your breathing patterns change. So if you recognize these things, that will be very helpful to um, correct your mistakes and deal with many difficulties that we have in our life. Yeah. If you want to practice more anapanasati, I think beautiful sutta, Satipatthana Sutta, Girimananda Sutta, and Anapanasati Sutta itself also have a lot of um, advices. Plus, you just sit every day and close your eyes and listen to your own breath, breathing in and breathing out. Just listen to it, observe it. So the incoming breath touches here before entering the body, right? So incoming breath touches the nostril before entering the body. and this is the entry point. And then outgoing breath touches the maybe the majja, it is said otta majja, it, that is the middle of the lip before leaving the body. So in between this nostril and the upper lip, it's just like maybe like an inch, not that much. But the journey is so long. What you learn through this practice is amazing. This 1 inch distance will be like miles and miles, thousands of miles longer. And you can practice lifelong, and you will learn every time something new. Go practice anapanasati in the forest. You will feel completely different. And go practice anapanasati on the beach, completely different. Go practice anapanasati on the snow mountain, very different. And go practice in the desert, different. And rains and cool heat, under all the different conditions, anapanasati is different. So we learn all the time something new. And in flat area, in high altitude, people practice and they feel, they experience so many different things. Okay. Yeah, anapanasati is. So when you practice, whether it is long breath or short breath, you recognize them, and slowly you will try to learn much more about this subject. And stay tuned, and you will hopefully get more insight from us about this. Dinko Simunovic asks a question. Bhante, if anger persists for a longer period of time, what kind of meditation would you recommend? Sometimes it's hard to cultivate metta. So, what to do then? Yes, so that means when you have anger for a longer time, that has gone little bit down, what we call latent tendency. Like when you have some little dust on your cloth, you can just wash away, or even just, what do you call it?
Just shake it.
Yeah,
Or not?
shaken, and it'll be gone. But sometimes, like certain stains, you have to wash it. Just water will be gone. But sometimes it is little bit difficult, so you use soap and it will be gone. Sometimes it will not be gone even with the soap. You need to use some special chemical, right? Same thing with our defilements. Certain defilements, you just shake it and it will be gone. But some defilements you have to wash away. Some defilement you have to use something like a soap, more effort. And then some they are like you need to really use some special chemical to get rid of that, like sotapanna. Yeah, those are called latent tendency. Um, this can be there. Anger is something like that. Anger is just normal, okay. You can shake it off. But if you persistently have anger, then it can go deeper and deeper to the subconscious, and it will be there. Now, that can be really dangerous. That can be really disastrous. But one thing more important is when you know that you have that issue, then you say practicing metta might not help for some people. Then practicing impermanence can be helpful, because we do not live forever, right? The Buddha said, Parechana vijananti maya metta yamamase yecha tatta vijananti tato sammanti medaga, in the Dhammapada. I think it is the stanza number, Yamaka Vagga stanza number 6 or something. So people fight here thinking that they live forever. If someone knows that his life is short, then they will not fight anymore. They will not quarrel anymore. Because what is the point? if we are going to die like 2 days in Jatu Maharajiga world? What is the point? Why do we need to earn more enemies in our life? And then we hurt ourselves. Anger is like a fire, it burns inside and outside. It is so dangerous. It's like amber and you don't see it. Like if you have persistent anger, means like amber under the ash. It's more dangerous. It kills you, it burns you inside like a lava. So sometimes, once in a while, those lava will come out like a storm, right? What do you call it?
Erupt.
Yes, eruption of that lava. We had it recently in Europe, Spain or something, right?
Like
Yeah,
a volcano.
yeah, volcano. It can have like volcanic effect in you. So anger can become hatred. That is like volcano that will be burning you and others all the time. You won't be able to sleep properly when you have that. You won't be able to eat properly. And you will always be aggressive. You won't be able to enjoy other people's life. When they are happy, you don't like it. When they eat well, you don't like it. When they dress well, you don't like it. Everyone, everything, you are angry, you are very, very upset. It kills you, it burns you inside and outside. So think of the impermanent nature. I'm not going to live forever. So what is the point uh, in doing it? So first, I think you need to love yourself. Self care is really important. So think of your own happiness, think of your own good health, because eventually this will be very costly for your wonderful good health. You will become a sick person. Your blood will pollute. It will be poisoning. It will be toxic, and your nervous system, your heartbeat, your palpitation, your brain waves, everything will be negative. So you will see, if you recognize this, if you identify this, I think that will be very helpful. So please cultivate metta, and if it doesn't work, practice impermanence. So from time to time, think of them. If you are a Buddhist, think of the Buddha when you are angry. When you look at the Buddha, think of the Buddha, so full of loving kindness all the time, immeasurable love and compassion for all sentient beings, such a wonderful spiritual master. So you will not get angry, at least, you see a beautiful Buddha picture, maybe you can have it in your phone. When you are upset, look at that. It will bring you peace, happiness. And if you are a Christian, think of Jesus, or think of Mother Mary, or any other saint that you like. If you are a Hindu, there are so wonderful deities. You can think of them. And if you are a Muslim person, think of some wonderful spiritual master. Yeah, you always can think. If you don't believe in any religion, you still can think of a good teacher, a good friend, something, so that it will bring peace, happiness to you. At least, um, temporarily that will replace the anger, that darkness in you. It will bring you light, happiness. So I strongly suggest practicing loving kindness can be done in many, many different ways. Shortcut, I will tell you a very short formula. Every time you can do that. May they be well, happy, and healthy. Just say this all the time. When you get angry, may he be well, happy and healthy. May she be well, happy, and healthy. You don't have to say that. Say it to yourself. And just in mind, you can say that. When you drive, when you cook, when you study, or when you, whatever, um, send loving kindness to other people around, especially the one you are having trouble with. Send loving kindness to that person. May that person be full of peace, happiness. May that person be so rich. May that person be so good. May he or she be able to achieve whatever he or she wants in life. To me, so happy and with good thoughts and good energy. Think of that, and that will be so wonderful. It will actually cleanse your heart too. Eventually, that will be really helpful. Okay. Um, Rick Thorne is asking, Bhante, can you share some practical examples how sense restraint relates to letting go of a lesser happiness for a greater happiness? Yes. Practical example, I think when you observe 8 precepts, right? When you observe 8 precepts, you have sixth precept as the food. Do not eat the food meal at inappropriate times. Um, so you can do it all the time. I know people are so uh, uh, really happy to go to many different restaurants and have many colorful, beautiful atmosphere, like so many different locations, meal. You think of it, right? So you see for that greater happiness. And sometimes um, take a break from such things, like um, do not eat mm, like dinner. Skip the dinner maybe. If you try it once a week or once a month, you will feel a bigger difference. um, that will be really wonderful. Like you eat the food for greater happiness, for lesser happiness, in fact. And if you skip the food, it will become such a greater happiness. Recently, somebody came here to meditate with us, and that person said, I said to him, if you come here, you can't eat dinner here. So I had to tell him before coming, I had to warn him. He said, "Oh, Bante, I am diabetic and I have to eat." I said, "Okay, if you want, if you have that kind of a health issue, of course I can say no. But otherwise, we observe 8 precepts. So for a patient, of course, we have to give priority to such persons." So he was here for a week or so, and he went back, and he said, Bante, although I said I had this problem, but after coming here, and I never wanted to have dinner. He said he felt so comfortable skipping the dinner, and for one whole week, he said in his lifetime, he did that. And the following day, he felt so good. He had a good night's sleep, and he woke up like a flower blooming, so refreshing, he said, so light. And so, Rick, I think this is one way of practical example of, letting go of a lesser happiness, because the food or whatever you have brings you joy, but it's just a lesser happiness. If you let it go, you will have greater happiness. Same thing with the other precepts too, actually. Sometimes you have these sensual pleasures, you try to satisfy them, gratify them, And sometimes if you control them, you will have greater happiness. Yeah, that's there. Like let's say like a lot of people have the problem with the phone. Like you really want to hold on to that phone, right? It brings so much good, maybe lesser happiness to you. And then some people, like especially young people, they are really into gaming. They like to play game, cartoon, all those things. They really love that, and that is also giving you lesser happiness. Maybe try that. One day, turn off the phone or do not touch the phone. One day, just one day, once a week, okay? And see the difference. You will have greater happiness. You will start to think of you. You don't have anything else to do now. What to do? You have to think of yourself, right? I remember one time I attended a 10 days retreat in Jaipur, India, and that time I remember how it was so amazing. And someone said to me, I went with some friends with me, and they said they had to give away their phone to the office. And then, for the first time in their life, they did not talk for 10 days. They did not use their phone for 10 days. And at the beginning, it was such a struggle, very difficult. You can talk, you see people, friends, but you don't talk. And then you can't use the phone, and you cannot read anything, you cannot read news, you cannot talk, no music, nothing, no TV, no reading, nothing. And so at the beginning, it's really difficult. The first few days is a struggle. And then someone went to the teacher, said, I want to leave, I'm enough. I'm done with this retreat, I want to go back. And then the teacher said, I know it is hard, why don't you try just one more day, we'll see how it goes. And somehow he, very very, with so much difficulty, he was suppressing his sense and then emotions. And then following day again, I want to go back. And then, okay, just one last day, try one last day, it should be okay. After that, if you feel, you can go away. And somehow, yes, he did that day also. And then he was okay. He was able to, look into himself. And then he had nothing else to do, wake up in the morning, practice, and pay mindfulness, attention to everything, practice. At the end of the 10 days, it was such a um, beautiful experience, such an amazingly powerful experience. So sometimes, if we let go these lesser happiness, we will definitely have much more greater happiness. Yeah, sometimes you can try this digital minimalism, and also craving for food. I highly recommend try that. Okay. Um, Eric Burdett says, Bhante, I heard that ancient monks used to use cannabis, and there is archaeological evidence of cannabis use and its presence within Buddhist traditions in the past. Do you know if this is true? Um, Cannabis is like the.
Marijuana.
Oh, I see. I think they have been used for as a medicine in some cases. I'm sure even today they are used as a medicine. Maybe to a certain extent, they use them as medicine. I remember one time I went to Rishikesh in India. I was so surprised. There was a Naga sadhu, like the naked uh, Indian saints, and he had all the body was and what do you call, applied with some color, like he was like white. And I was surprised, like he was in very strong samadhi. I saw when I went there, I saw him sitting, like in deep meditation. Then when I was coming back, I saw him smoking cigarette. And it was just a simple thing for him. I think he was maybe using that kind of herbs, medicine, whatever, maybe cannabis. I heard they have those things with them, but I'm sure they are not using them for like excessively, and also they have better control of themselves. I'm pretty um, yeah. If you have that um, somehow under control, maybe due to different weather conditions or something, maybe they might be using. But I'm not sure if in the Buddhist tradition we have it. I'm
I
not.
would by like the precept of not using drinks or drugs that cause heedlessness.
Yeah, yeah. That doesn't like. That's not a Buddhist saint, as I mentioned.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if the Buddhist monks do that. They did it before. I'm not sure. But I know one thing, that most of those ascetic practitioners, especially in the forest, they have their own indigenous medicine. They don't go to, even today, they have their own medicine. I was sharing with the Jens today how when we were, in our rural Sri Lanka, when we were living there, we had all the things in the nature. Like when you had a cut and bruise, you get like coffee leaf or tea leaf. We just crush it and apply it. The blood will be stopped right away. And every time we use those tender coconut or um, all the things in the nature were medicine to us, and I don't think we had to go to the hospitals, and we knew that. Even as young little children, we knew that. And especially the monks who practice in the forest, they have to also know medicine. And yeah, this one, uh, there are many medicines that they know. Um, like even the gunpowder was discovered by um, Taoist monks, right? Taoist practitioners, because it was helpful for long life, longevity. And many practitioners, they use them, certain things that they have found, but when they were um, used by the other people without self-restraint, without sila, then they do all the other nasty things. They use destructive weapons. But those Taoist monks, they used it for, to live longer. And the other people used it to live shorter, cut short others' life. That's very contradictory, right? So I think the same thing, like for example, martial arts like karate. Karate means, I think in Japanese, empty hand. So they use empty hands to self defense. They also follow the animals, gestures and how they fight, and they were following, and they were stronger in the jungles. When they practice, they need to be so stronger. And then when it comes to the cities, people without self-restraint, without sila, they use it to harm others, not to self-defense. That is the problem. Same thing, I guess, with the cannabis. If you have more self-restraint, more sila in you, you probably, you might be okay. But I'm not advising it for the people without sila to practice. So better not to use um, that will be more helpful to you. Jonas, I could try practicing the perception of impermanence from the Girimananda Sutta for fear. Problem is my mind is very fast and analytical. Unless I let it work quickly on the fear, it'll produce. Yes, at the beginning it can happen, but I must say uh, it will not go away right away, but you have to work on it like maybe like 21 days. Try that, and also make a journal of your progress. Okay, I get this fear. My first day, second day, third day. You keep working on that and record, um, observe that, and it can eventually be gone. You will be able to work on that. I'm sure. I wish you all the best. And Eric has another question. Do you think the Buddha would have classified cannabis as an intoxicant? Um, as I mentioned, I think in the West, um, like in the Eastern countries, those were like indigenous medicines. Even the tribal people, they would use it as a medicine in most of the cases. I think there is something called ganja in Sri Lanka, and the Sanskrit word is what do you call it? Sanskrit word is a very interesting word. Uh, mm, I forgot that Sarvaloka something like it is the winner of the whole world. That is the Sanskrit word for that ganja. So, but nowadays people take it, as I mentioned, like the people without any control, they use it and then they get into trouble themselves. That can be very tempting, intoxicating for them. And even today in Ayurvedic medicine, some of these things are used for medicinal purpose. So that's my opinion, although I'm not encouraging other people to do that. It will produce a lot of suffering in meditation repeatedly. This is my struggle. Okay, I think that is related to John's question. Yeah. It will happen at the beginning. Maybe if you try to practice in a different, maybe a monastery, something, if you try, there will be a chance for you because the conditions, the surrounding, also can help you to come out with a good solution. Now, okay, I think we are almost time, but I will maybe. Ooh, we have more people. Okay. Alexis Campero, as dear Bhante, as lay people, how can we have businesses that make money and be far away from the greed and desire? Yes, I think Anatha Pindika was a businessman. He was a millionaire. And Visakha was also a big businessman, woman. They were very rich people. So I don't think in Buddhism we just don't say you don't do business. You do business, but there are ways and means to do business. Let's say like um, there are 5 things that you have to be careful. Okay, um, what do you call Mansa Vanijja, Majja Vanijja, then Satta Vanijja, Sattha Vanijja, Visa Vanijja. Okay, I will start with that. Sattha Vanijja is weapon business. Don't engage in this. weapon business, although it is easy money. This is, I think, one of the most profitable businesses in the world. But that kills people. That is so disastrous and destructive, right? So don't, like, you can earn money, but don't use anything to earn money. You have to also have some ethical considerations in doing business. And then, like Satta Vanija, it is said you should also do animal husbandry or animal business, because that also kills a lot of animals. And we see, like the way they kill those animals, some videos I have seen, it's so heartbreaking, the torture that they incur into these innocent animals, like the cows and the chicken. Yes, people, they can eat, they eat meat, but the way they torture those innocent animals is really heartbreaking. So if you think that is the way to do business, I don't know. Like, for example, if you use like electric current or something to kill fish, so many millions of fish will die too. And sometimes we think like there are so many animals, so we can kill, and that is our right. Who has given you the right? Who has given you the authority? Any Almighty God has given you that authority? I don't think so, because who will decide that? Let's say, like, so many humans are there. What about animals? Think the other way around. Oh, these humans are too many and they are so disastrous. And of course, more humans have done more damage to the world than animals, right? For example, when we see animals walk, if you see the animal's path, you see only the path, the foot print of those animals. But if you see, when the humans walk, even through the jungles or wherever, you see so much trash, so much plastic everywhere. So we do more damage to the nature too. Everywhere, wherever we go, we do more damage to the nature too. So, so we don't have any ethical right to like that. So, Satta Vanijja, Sattva Vanijja, Visa Vanijja is poisonous things, like chemical fertilizer, for example. People use chemical fertilizers, and that can bring a lot of fast grown food. But then what about the people who suffer? Nowadays, a lot of people get cancer and so many diseases, because they know exactly. Those people who produce these things, they know that. So they don't have that sealer. They have wisdom. They have intelligence. They are smart people, but they lack sealer. Sealer, without sealer, there is no panya, I think. So in Buddhism, um, sila is the very foundation of our journey, of our whole person education. Sila is the very foundation. Not feeding the brain all the time. You also have to maintain balance between head and the heart and the hand. Very important. So doing business is okay, but doing it in the right manner is more important. Samma ajiva is right livelihood. So Sattha Vanijja, Satta Vanijja, Visa Vanijja, and Majja Vanijja is drinks and drugs. Again, very easy money. But look how our young generation, it is so sad to see the beautiful young people when they are addicted to drinks and drugs. So unfortunate, so miserable to see them suffering. And the people who sell them, They earn a lot of money, yes, but those innocent people, millions of people around the world, young people in particular, it's so sad that they become addicted to them. And so, at what cost you are going to earn money? What is the point? Sometimes maybe you do the business and maybe your own children. And recently I saw there was a famous Bollywood star in India. His children, they were arrested because of that. Unfortunate, right? So all the big people sometimes you do a lot of good business and you become very rich. Sometimes you don't know what will happen to your own children. You don't pay enough attention to that. That's really unfortunate again. Yeah. And then the Mansa Vanija is human trafficking. These are the 5 businesses that you should not focus on. You should yeah, do something that is helpful to you and also helpful to others, like organic things or nature friendly, environmental friendly. You can do business. You better do business, I think. Lay people, you should do better business, because then you can become rich people. You can earn a lot of money and then you can help the world. You can use the money, share that property. Smart people should do business, I think, and then they can share their wealth with the other people who are in need of it. There are so many innocent poor people in the world. We also have to do that community care thing. I think it's important we do that community care. So as monks, we also do spiritual care. Sometimes we also need to do the community care. So I strongly suggest you do business and then do it in the right way, and then you can help the world. That way we can have a good balance. All right. And sorry, today we have, I think, taken a little bit longer time. And I would like to ask Amarantha and the other people, Tulani, and wow, so many, Paul and Eric again, Chandrasekhar, Mystic, Mins, and many other people. Um, yeah, I would like to encourage you ask these questions again in another future monk chat. And thank you again for joining us today with Monk Chat. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May you be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever you are. With that good intention, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Abhivadana siris nichang uddha pachayino chattaro dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti minate samijjatu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you and see you again. All right.
You have your other class, right? Something?
I know. I think I have to.